My stock portfolio has ballooned to $160,000. I hit $150,000 for the first time on July 13th, and I hit 160K for the first time on November 17th. That is a span of 127 days. I've been keeping records on my portfolio size for the past 6 years, and this has been my journey so far. First hitting $1,000 5.5 years ago, hitting $10,000 4.5 years ago, hitting 100K, reaching that 6-figure mark 2 years ago, and now we're at $160,000. It just really gets me excited, makes me start thinking about 2024, possibly hitting $200,000 at some point during the next year. Of course, what I'm even more proud about is this graph right here. Those humps don't lie. That's my dividend income. Since I started each year, each month, it just keeps rising. Passive income that you don't need to work for. Look at those humps, exponentially rising just the way I like it. But what's the secret? How do I keep making so much money for doing absolutely no work, and how can you too enjoy these income streams? The secret is how I spend my money. While the average American is drowning themselves in debt, I'm investing in the companies they give all their hard-earned money toward. Your friend loves those Costco Vienna sausages? I'm there. Even the money in your Chase bank account? It's mine. Got a Johnson & Johnson vaccine? Yeah, buddy, you bet I was on the other end of that needle. You see, these companies we give all our money to, the most profitable public companies, they love to reward their shareholders for owning the stock, and they pay out those earnings to us shareholders, most of us getting it every single quarter. Rich people love dividends because it's a passive income stream. You have stability in when you will get paid, it's tax efficient, and dividend paying companies, they often have a history of financial stability and profitability. Let's go over all the dividends I got paid this last month. The real reason you clicked on this video is to get inspired by payments from companies like VHT, which is actually an ETF that tracks the healthcare sector. So many great healthcare companies out there in the world. By owning VHT, you become an owner of all those companies. So I got paid $4.10 from VHT. Healthcare has not done very well this year. In my personal opinion, I think this is a great buying opportunity. So I'm going to be racking up more shares of VHT and getting paid more in dividends as time progresses. So after VHT, we got paid from this income ETF, JEPI, which paid me $17.79. So for those who think I hate income ETFs, I actually own a couple in my portfolio. The key here is that I own just a small percentage of my portfolio toward these income ETFs as a way to supplement my dividend income. I would never ever rely on income ETFs alone to make me rich though, especially given my age. I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. So after the $17.79 from JEPI, I also got paid from Vici Properties, $41.67. So I own 100 shares of Vici. Been doing covered calls on them, been making some extra passive income by just owning the shares, collecting those dividends, and letting the good old folks at Vici continue to operate. After Vici, I got paid $2.58 from the insurance company Chubb. Pretty boring, but boring in investing is actually really great, as I've learned over the years. Boring companies keep the world spinning. So after Chubb, we got paid $19.25 from Medical Properties Trust. This is actually the first dividend that they've paid where they actually cut their dividend. So I used to get closer to $40 in dividends from MPW, but still a pretty nice yield here with MPW, a very depressed stock this past year. But still going to continue to hold on to them at this point. Just collect that dividend income for as long as they can pay it out. We'll see how this impacts my overall earnings here when we go over how much I made for the whole month and prior months. So after MPW, I got paid $15.89 from a dividend aristocrat in Medtronic, $15.89. Also at a very attractive price these days. The next company to pay me was Realty Income, $20.82. How about that Spirit Realty? And that Realty Income merger will combine two companies, get them close to 15,000 properties under their belt. That's 15,000 rent checks coming their way each single month, and they're gonna pass off those earnings to us shareholders. I've been gobbling up more and more shares of O almost on a weekly basis as I'm getting super close to getting to 100 shares of O Realty Income, and then I can start doing covered calls and making even more in passive income. Next company to pay me was Riddim Capital, a whole $3.68. I also got paid $8.80 from my uninvested cash that just gets placed in a money market fund. Now, this is as safe as it gets. They're just investing in government assets. The US government will always be able to just print more money and pay back people. So sleeping real good with this Treasury money market fund. I also got paid $17.51 from QYield, QYLD. Again, to all those people that think I hate income ETFs, here's another one for you. And also, many people have asked, you see right here it says type margin. Many people have asked if I use margin because they see this M icon. A few select haters are now making disparaging comments about my achievements because they think I'm using margin. Let's set the record straight. I have never, not once, borrowed money to invest in the stock market. You can see my entire investing journey because I've documented it right from the start. You go back on my channel, I have videos from 2019 when my portfolio had less than $10,000 in it. I even got a screenshot from the Fidelity team on what the M means. It essentially means that my account has the ability to utilize margin. However, I'm not actually borrowing any money. This $160,000 you see in my portfolio, it's all mine. There's plenty of room at the table for all of us to eat. And to the vast majority of you who always come here to show support and grow together in this dividend investing journey, you know all the hard work, the grind that goes into these videos, into our daily lives as we try to accumulate that wealth. Thank you so much for always being there. All right, so really no way to segue that. I'm just gonna move into the next company. The Triple Q's paying me $13.60. So this is a great ETF for any investor, really of any age. It's a way to get exposure to the 100 best growth stocks out there. The NASDAQ 100 leading the way in innovation. And then we got one of the biggest banks of the world in JP Morgan Chase paying me $25.72. That whole margin spiel that I gave, you can't say the same thing about the big banks. I'll just leave it at that. All right, and then we got another one of my favorite ETFs in SPY paying me 21 cents. Then we certainly can't forget the dividends inside my Roth. I got paid $2.92 from Divo. I got paid $7.29 from DGRO. This is another alternative to SCHD. It's a way to get exposure to some great paying dividend stocks, one of my favorite dividend ETFs out there. And then we got paid $6.82 from Packaging Corporation of America. This is a large corrugated box company in the United States. They have close to almost 100 different box locations across the United States. Try imagining this world without boxes and it would not be a place you want to live in. All right, after PKG, we got Stag Industrial paying me $2.05. Stag owns so many warehouses across the world. My new favorite conspiracy theory is what are they doing inside all those warehouses that are being built across the United States? It really has me wondering. After Stag, I also got paid interest in my uninvested cash in my Roth, so $29.69 from SPACs. And then to top it off, we got paid $7.32 from XYield, XYLD, the Global X, S&P 500 covered call ETF. So as you can see, multiple income ETFs in my portfolio. I use it as a way to supplement my dividend income, but it's not the primary way I want to get exposure to dividend companies and ETFs. Altogether, I had 16 different companies / ETFs pay me for a grand total of $201.89. I got one more tranche over that $200 mark. This is a 16% raise from last year when I made just $174. The year before that, I was making $108. I'm making almost 2 times that now in passive dividend income. This just shows how powerful dividend growth investing is. Could I make more dividend money just buying high-yielding stocks? Absolutely. But I know the true secret to getting rich with dividend growth investing is selecting high-quality companies with lower yields today that have a history of aggressively raising that dividend each year. That's why I love companies like United Health Group, because despite their paltry dividend yield, it boasts a very impressive 16.43% CAGR. So my 3-month average, how much I average each month in dividends, is now up to $236.93, up $2.17 since last month, and my quarterly average is now up to $710.79, up $6.51 from just a month ago. I also made $39 in passive income in my money market accounts, just uninvested cash, earning interest. I don't have to worry about that money at all. This is a bit less than other months just because I've been using some of that cash for options trading myself and earning that sweet premium. In life, there is so many expenses. I just had to pay $7,000 for a new furnace and AC. However, I know my dividends are helping in the background, and one day they will pay for all my living expenses, even though I'm making more money going to the bathroom at work these days. I see a lot of people wanting that instant gratification, going after income ETFs and their ridiculous yields. Guys, know there's no such thing in life as free money, and everything has a trade-off. I'll choose dividend growth investing over those funds any day of the week. I do that by buying great companies, which I share to my Patreons every single week as I'm actually beating the market this year. And they also get access to my full $160,000 portfolio. I'd love to hear about your dividend journey in the comments below. My videos are always found in podcast form under the Collect Cash podcast name. Make sure you leave a good rating for the podcast if you're listening on there. It really helps. And I'll catch you on the next one.